Well, Frances Gilbert is a teacher and an author, and Katie Ivens is the Vice Chairman of the Campaign for Real Education, both joining me in the studio. Great to see you both here tonight. Frances, let's start with you. Did the principal, Elizabeth Churton, get this right? What do you think?
Seems rather excessive to me. It seems that, it's really going overboard, and I worry that it's going to really alienate parents and students and actually make the behaviour worse because they'll feel angry about something that just seems really rather unfair and excessive.
I mean, it is excessive, Katie, isn't it? 250 pupils or thereabout being sent home because their shoes are not the right colour black.
Well, the question is not how many, but is it reasonable or not, what the school is asking. And if you've got a school which is in a very bad state, you very often find that poor performance, educational performance and poor behaviour go together. And one way of encouraging good behaviour is say, right, this is a school community, we dress like this, we do that. And you insist on rules being followed, and then you have a structure within which children learn. And good behaviour and good education do seem to go together.
And Frances, there does seem to be a strong link, doesn't there, between uniforms and good exam results and good behaviour. And in actual fact, this very school was in special measures, but is now doing very well, maybe because of the principal's strict rules on them.
Well, actually, the problem is the research proves the opposite of this. There's no strong link between uniform and good exam results. There is a good link between good behaviour and exam results, but I worry this sort of thing is not going to encourage good behaviour because you're going to have a lot of very angry children, and when you've got angry children, you can have more misbehaviour, and so you have to bring everyone on board, and things have to be perceived to be fair, and the problem is a lot of parents are complaining about this.
OK, is Frances right? There is no link? What do you say to them?
Well, first of all, you don't have to have a link between school uniform and good performance and good behaviour. There are some schools. If a school has been running well for years, they don't have much, or the uniform policy is either weak or hardly exists, fine. But if you've got a school in a very bad situation, you usually find bad behaviour does actually go with bad performance. One of the ways of getting children to conform, to behave themselves, is actually say, the uniform demonstrates the community you belong to, you're going to dress like this.
But you've got to bring them on board, haven't you? You've got to bring them on board. If you don't bring the students on board, the problem is, and I've taught in schools like this, they're very angry and they get, their behaviour becomes a lot worse. And you have to bring everyone together. You've got so many students here. This is in the hundreds who can be alienated, and that's going to cause a lot of problems, and then walking around the school.
They'll get
and also
over it. They'll get over it once they get used to wearing this uniform. Honestly, it's a perfectly normal uniform: jacket, tie, trousers.
Right. Lots and lots of comments from our viewers. Let's get to a few of those now. Christopher via Facebook says, what's more important, a dress code or education? I think education comes first. And indeed, Katie, some of these students are doing their GCSEs. Surely that's more important than being sent home for wearing trainers.
Do you know, they'll get over it. I've been in schools where new head teachers have taken over and they said, right, everybody's going to wear the uniform. They do get over it, and then they get on with their work, and they do tend to behave better as they conform.
And Frances, for you, Laura, again via Facebook, says children need rules. It saves other children getting bullied over brand names. That's a very fair point, isn't it?
I certainly agree that if you get uniform right and you bring people on board, and, my current school, we get children involved on deciding what goes into the uniform. That's a good point. But just excluding hundreds of children for something that looks pretty arbitrary is a real problem. You need to find other, more subtle ways around this problem.
OK, and very quickly to both of you, when did you last wear a uniform? Katie?
Oh, at school.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was at school too.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us.